feeling like a cold shoulder. 4 years from the border.
I started working on a fictitious record a few years ago with my friend Poo Bear.
Let's just take out, maybe like 27 minutes out of on a Saturday. We really had no expectation.
Can you hear me now? Ain't got no bars, ain't no damn signal.
One thing led to another. We somehow got in front of T-Bone Burnett, and he produced these to what you hear right now.
The first person I called when this project came up was T-Bone. And he said, no, it's legit. These guys are good. This is something that you want to get involved in. So, he's never steered me wrong so far.
We started doing our homework, and we're looking at people who've told amazing musical stories. Bill Flanagan's name kept on coming up again and again. I got on a call with him and I said, hey, let me tell you all about this project. He said, hold on, it's about the music first.
Everything comes from the music. When I heard the music, I said, all right, well, this is something real. We can go to town on this.
In the words of T-Bone, I think we just got lucky and ended up with a lyric sheet from Bob Dylan.
When it made it to Bob Dylan's team, I came back to T-Bone and said, yo, this sounds like something that, Bob might be actually interested in doing. I couldn't believe it.
Hello, I'm Dennis Quaid, and I am one of the executive producers of the podcast, and I am voicing the character of Dr. Q. In 2019, I came into possession of a Brown Durham 78 RPM recording by the mystery musician referred to in local legend as Mr. Bear.
Dennis Quaid is an American icon. He just happens to be a huge lover of music.
This really excited me, to tell you the truth.
The assemblage of people we put together for a podcast is kind of unreal. We have Poo Bear, we got T-Bone Burnett, you have Bill Flanagan, Dennis Quaid, and last but not least, Bob Dylan.
What the success of the podcast in our culture is leading to, in a way, it's a return of what our grandparents used to say was great about radio, the theater of the imagination, real plot-driven adventures. We're going to do something with the podcast which is just waiting to be done, but nobody's done it yet.
We have 8 songs on the album, and we have 8 episodes of the podcast, each of the episodes inspired by the songs from the album.
We spent the whole 20th century in American entertainment telling stories of the cowboys and the winning of the West. And we really have told those stories. I think we're done with that.
And this story is the story of American music and what was the access mundi of American music.
Bear and Banjo is a possible way to tell that different American myth and get into some really, really interesting stories that are just as compelling as Roy Rogers and John Wayne and Clint Eastwood told, but a different cast of characters.
I really do believe this is something new in podcast.
Podcasts haven't really leveraged the power of music yet, and to be able to create a first-of-its-kind musical for the podcast space seems like a no-brainer.
We're still finding new things to do with those old rock and roll forms.
I guess it's going to be a great story. I'm extremely excited about it.
I can't wait for the world to discover the music and hear the stories of Bear and a Banjo.